All right, ladies, good morning. So, this message is for all of you, and we're just going to roll with it. Little coffee going on here. And happy Friday. So, I have some important messages for every single one of you. First and foremost, to live your freaking life, my friends. None of us know how much time we have here. I am so reminded that as of late. And so live your life today. It can be all the little simple things. That's what lights my fire for sure. All those simple things, like a good cup of coffee, like a sunset, like a sunrise, like a run outside, like a dip in the pool. Like none of those things cost any money, right? But they fill us up in a way that material things never could and never will. Got it? Okay, so huge reminder there. But that's not the main message today. The main message is remembering that you are a creator, that you are a powerful creator. Okay. And as women, we have so forgot that over the years because many of us were never taught that. We had to learn that on our own, more than likely at some point in our life. Okay. And there are key components to this that I want to discuss in this before a masterclass happens or before you have a one-on-one with me to get all your life force back and all your creative abilities back home to you, back in your body, back in your field, back in your psyche, all of it, my loves. Okay? Shedding away all of the programming that tells you you're a machine, that tells you that you have to work an 8 to 5 in order to survive here. Okay. That might be part of your story. That might be a reality for you right now, but there is something so much more that wants to be birthed through you, my loves. And so many times we resist it because it's scary, it's unknown, and fear sets in the process. Okay. And the other issue with all of this is that we have so many outside energies pulling at us as women, trying to get our focus, I want to say, off of our soul work, off of our purpose, off of the real reason that we're here. Okay. So those energies, those entities, those temptations, that stuff that comes in, people that pull you away from your work, okay? That pull you away from what you're meant to be focused on. Got it? And so we want to see those things very clearly so that we can adjust accordingly. Okay, name the temptations in your life. Name the people that the minute you sit down to work, or this happened to me the other day, I had just kind of surrendered and gotten into the space that I needed to activate in order to do some work. And right at that moment, a friend reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to go grab lunch?" Right when I was going into this really sacred space that I needed to be in. Okay. And so pay attention to those because we don't catch them all the time. And of course, I wanted to go have lunch. How fun. And yet, purpose and passion and God is like saying, do the work, right? And so we have to remember that as women and hold ourselves accountable, which doesn't always happen. Okay, but I digress. So back to you being a powerful creator. And if your energy is leaking and going out to other people, okay, if your 9 to 5 is completely draining you, if your relationship is taxing you, stressing you, draining you, if addiction or substances or something that you're putting in your body is draining your energy or funking up your field, those are all things that we want to resolve, like right now. And I always say, bringing all of your energy back home. Okay, most people don't know how to do that. And that's what I do in my one-on-one sessions. It's so important. Bringing all your soul fragments, all your energy, bringing everything back home to you. And that, my friends, is why so many of us have to be in our own little bubble. Why we have to be in isolation at different times, why we have to be in solitude so that our energy is not leaking out. Sure, like I'm still out in the world, I'm still biking, I'm still exercising, I'm still talking to people at the gym, the pool, whatever that is, okay? But I am in my protective bubble when I am creating things, when I have to put all of my focus into this business, my work, and building the solid foundation for my life and continuing to grow that, right? And so your energy, your focus can't be on other people, although they feel so good when it is, right? Because then they get your energy, right? That job of yours, which I'm going to tell you a story here in just a minute, because I think of a certain client who still works like in corporate America, and it drains her and it keeps her away from being able to create at the level she could create if her job wasn't draining her. Okay. Now, I'm not saying get rid of the job. I'm just saying learn how to navigate it in a way that it doesn't drain you. And that's where my story is going to come in just a minute. Okay. And so, my loves, that being said, we need all of your energy in your field. We need your body ignited, usually like through a workout, right? Getting all those feel-good hormones moving, shedding the cortisol. We need you in a safe, protective, sacred environment in which you can sleep, okay? In which you can rest well, in which your nervous system can relax, right? And we need, I don't want to say most of the stress out of your life, but being able to move through stressful things quickly, not hold on to them, right? So basically being focused and on point and in your power and your strength, all of that. Seems like such a challenging feat, but once you know the basis of it, the non-negotiables, the key components to it, you just show up and do those every morning and build that solid foundation for your day. And then you can create on top of that. And then you can pour into your business on top of that. And then you can pour into your creations on top of that. Got it? And so when I scan, I'm like, 2 to 3 hours of your day are meant for you to build a business that sustains you. I feel like I'm like trying to whisper it. I want to yell it to the freaking world, okay? No matter what else you have going on in your life. I realize that's not, but 2 to 3 hours, 6 days a week, oh my God, what we can build in that time will set you up for the rest of your life. And then you have to continue to tend to it and nurture it and water it and rub it and all the things that we do with the things that support us, right? We keep supporting them. They keep supporting us, this beautiful flow and exchange back and forth. When something's out of balance, that's where dis-ease in any area of our life comes in. Okay. Blockages, not flowing well, the unease, the something's off here, right? Okay, so all this stuff I look at in my sessions, my loves, and it's so fun. Like it literally, we can move and shift so much in one session and activate you into alignment, which is most important. So then you can create a business that sustains and build your life in a way that is so freaking true to you, where you are incredibly happy, okay? And fulfilled and sustained and radiating all this amazing energy out into this world, okay? Which is what, as women, we are here for, radiating the beauty out into the world, but we have to protect it, okay? And so, my loves, all that being said, when your energy then is leaking and it's your life force, which is your most precious commodity, your life force energy, okay? We need to sever the ties with the things that it's leaking to, and or, here comes the story, learn how to navigate those things in a way where it doesn't drain our energy, okay? So back to my first career, dental hygiene. I knew within 6 months that I was not meant to be tucked away in one dental office in Denver, Colorado for the rest of my life, seeing 8 patients a day, 4 days a week. Like, absolutely fucking not. Okay. Even though you're making 75 to 80K, like, absolutely not. Okay. But I did. And I did it on and off for over 10 years. As many of us that cling on to something way too long because we don't see the other way, or we can't open our vision to something that is much more expansive and true to who we are, right? And so that career kept coming back into my life because I felt like I needed it financially, right? And in many ways I did, in order to support my own healing and this other work that I was stepping into. Okay, so it wasn't wrong, but I could have let it go a lot sooner if I would have just maybe listened to some nudges and intuitions I was getting. Anyway, I digress. So I'm out in Denver, right? And I'm working in these dental offices. And I'm like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm pissed about it. But I felt like I didn't have another option at that point in time. Even though I'm still doing healing arts with people, I'm still doing massage and cranial sacral on the side, all this stuff. I really felt like I needed that income. Okay. So, but I would get home every day pissed off, drained, walk my dog, and basically had no energy for anything else. Okay. Not a way to live, my loves, that I know maybe some of you are still living because your day job drains you. But here's the thing. So I knew about energy, right? So I started making my sprays, which I still make, which is a high vibrational energy clearing spray. Amazing. And the last dental office that I was in, where I was a contract employee, so it could end at any time. I think I was there, though, on and off for 1.5 years. But anyway, started as a temp, and then they took me on as a contract employee. I made sprays because the girls and I in the office, like, we all got along really well. And so I made sprays for every room. And I just said, hey, feel free to spray this after every patient. Like, all it is essential oils. And let's basically just raise the vibration of this place. Okay. What we didn't know is the doctor at the time, who actually became a client of mine, was stuck in addiction to prescription meds, which many doctors are, if you know, many dentists are. Okay. They can write their own prescriptions. They get addicted, all the things. And it's a very dark energy that they hold then, obviously, as addiction is. Anyway, so we're like doing all this stuff and he's kind of freaking out sometimes because there's a lot of light now in the office and, you know, the dark doesn't always like that. Anyway, and so what happens though over the course of this all is like, I'm starting to learn how to maintain my energy, basically, was the lesson in all of this. Okay. And so even though this career had clung on for like 10 years, this last job, I was able to finally learn how to be in this work and keep my energy. And so what I did is in my lab jacket, I would pack it full of crystals. Okay. This was like towards the end of it. Because sometimes I would have like one, but I'm like, no, this office, I need like all my pockets loaded down with crystals. So did that. Okay. So then we had the sprays in every room, which were clearing energy in between every patient, basically. And then I started stepping outside, especially if a patient downloaded all of their crap that was happening in their life, which people always do to me. Patients always did that. And I would listen, you know, before I even cleaned their teeth. It would be like a 10 to 15 minute coaching counseling session, or me just listening to them, which they needed, therapy. And so a listening ear. But if someone really downloaded, I would just step outside and I would clear my energy and I would literally just brush everything off, breathe in the fresh air, take like 3 to 5 minutes to be outside and go back in. And that was such a game changer right there. Okay. And then of course I disinfect everything, spray the spray, and be ready for my next patient. And then at lunch, instead of running to the nearest Starbucks, which I still did sometimes, but I would always take a walk first. First I would walk and then I'd go rest in my car. And then maybe at the end of it, I'd go grab my Starbucks for the afternoon. Okay. Because God knows when we're in these environments, we have to treat ourselves to like get through. That is a very real thing. Okay. So, but here's the deal, my loves, is that I learned then, like at the end of these days, I was going home with as much energy, almost as much, I will say. I don't know if it was 100%, as when I was starting my day. because I learned how to clear everything. I wasn't taking anything on. I was getting a ton of fresh air, stepping outside as often as I could, right? And not taking on the doctor's stuff, the patient stuff, all of it, protecting my energy that with the crystals that were on me. Okay. So the interesting thing is that there was a speaking engagement back in Minnesota that was offered to me. My friend was holding a 2-day retreat at this beautiful place in Stillwater, Minnesota. I go, yeah, I'm doing it. She's like, do you want to be one of our speakers? I'm like, yes, absolutely. It was the first time I spoke and told my story about spiritual awakening. There were 2 moms in the audience who became great friends of mine, whose daughters as teenagers were going through the same thing that I had experienced at the age of 28. Okay, ended up in the mental health system, all the things that they were navigating. So when I got on the stage to tell my story, like both of those women, like pouring down tears. And I'm like, whoa, this is really moving them. And I was so nervous. Don't know how great it was, but it was my signal to the universe of, hey, this is what I'm stepping into. Okay. Drove back to Minnesota to do it, all the things. I could already feel that I was being called out of Colorado. I could already feel that. When I got back to Colorado after that speaking engagement, spent like 4 or 5 days in Minnesota, I went and got my mail. In the mailbox was a letter from that dental office saying your contract, like we no longer need you as a contract employee. Thank you so much. They were super kind. It was a lovely office. We just no longer need your services. So literally that career was gone. I haven't done dental hygiene since. Okay. And so, but I had to be grateful for it. I had to learn the lesson that it was teaching me about maintaining my energy in a somewhat toxic environment, right? About bringing the light and holding it no matter what. And then signaling to the universe that I was stepping into something new. It was all of those components, my loves. Got it? Okay, so take that. If you're stuck in something and you're pissed off about it, you have to turn it into gratitude. What you resist persists. Don't forget that. What you resist persists. So you have to love the shit out of that thing, okay? But you don't have to constantly be feeding that timeline. Show up and do what you need to do. Get out, take all your energy back, and then pour into this new thing. Signal to the universe, I'm stepping here. I'm going here. Because you go first and the universe follows. Got it? Okay. There's some rich nuggets in here that we just all need to like now take action on and embody. Got it? So take that story for what you will. I'm going to circle back around though and say, we need all of your energy to come back home. Okay. Calling everything back home, severing the cords, the ties, the whatever, where your focus is going. Is your focus going on someone you're dating right now that you're not even that excited about? And it's taking you away from some of this stuff? Like, where do you need to make those adjustments so that you can keep your life force energy contained and throw it into what you are here to build? And here's what else I want to tell you is that God, the universe, the people of this world, like the world wants to know what you're capable of on your own. I'm not saying you're supposed to do this alone, but they want to know, like, as a powerful creator, what you are here to build, what is meant to come through your vessel as a powerful creator here. Okay. And so we have to be willing to own that power and create that and develop that. And when you do step into it, the people and the resources that are meant to be a part of that, they come in and find you. They come in and help support that. Okay. Sometimes we don't always catch it. Sometimes we resist the help, all the things. But like, I do know that to be the truth. Okay. We just have to know which direction we're going. We just have to have that clarity on like here. And we might step here a couple of steps or 3 steps or 3 months. And we're like, that's not it. Let's make some tweaks. Let's make some changes. Like, it does change form. And we have to be willing for it to change form. Okay. But in order to create fully in the capacity, in the amount, in the everything that you are create, your life force energy has to be home. All of it. all 100% of it, all 110%, it has to be home. Okay. And the relationships in your life anyway should be contributing to that, should be inspiring, should be lifting you. And so if you're constantly being drained with the relationships in your life, then that is definitely something we need to reassess. Okay. Because there are beautiful people out here who want to match you, who are willing to match you, who want to go where you're going, but not to hang on to your, is it curtails or cattails or whatever, the tails behind you, not to just hang on and get a free ride, but to actually push you and fan your flames and give you energy and give you support and all of that, my loves. Got it? So remember that those people exist too. And those are the people we want in our sphere to create this thing with. Okay. And so, my loves, if all that being said, like, let that land for you. Let that remember what you are capable of here as a woman, as a creator, all of that. Okay. Reach out to me if you want more info on my one-on-ones. Like, literally, it is energy work. It is coaching. It is activating your creator. It is stepping through and getting clarity. And the beautiful thing is that I'm intuitive. So the minute that I tap into your field, that's when the downloads and the messages and the things that you are meant to hear, that can help give you clarity for next steps. That can help understand where your blockages are that you might not be seeing. That can help call all your life force energy back home and see where it's leaking. Okay. All of those things happen in a 75-minute session. So I'm going to post my link below. You can go ahead and schedule, or you can reach out to me and ask some questions that you have. Okay. Let this information land in your body. And remember what you're capable of. Okay. And allow the support to come in that you need to be able to create the thing that you are here to create. Much love, many blessings. Happy Friday, my friends. Have the best day, have the best evening, live your life, and I will see you again very soon. Thank you so much for being here and receiving these messages.